Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is RimWorld. We are back today at the Hussar and Highmate colony, and you can see we've got everybody here on high alert, but the danger has passed, so we can relieve them of duty. Actually, those are most of my children and non-violent pawns, so they were just hiding out in safety, but we did have a bit of a mech cluster here. Luckily, we were able to handle it, mainly with the help of Shay and her royal permits. We were able to just use one of them, in fact, so we called down the trooper squad, which it's good that we only used one because, as you can see, they have quite a long cooldown, almost nearly a year in terms of their cooldown, just short of a year by about 20 days, but we've still got the Aero Drone Strike and the Janissary Squad, which is basically like a beefier version of the Trooper Squad. So, yeah, it worked out pretty well. We didn't even have to involve any of the children, so we had zero casualties. Well, we had a couple of injuries. I shouldn't say zero casualties, because typically that word does include just straight up like bruises or injuries like that. But everybody's good. In fact, we've got the remnants of the mech cluster over here. Now look at this. This is quite amazing. I had talked about this when this thing first landed, but if you're able to get over here and destroy this without killing any of the unstable power cells, well, you can capture and claim those for yourself, and each one provides 400 watts of energy. I think we might have actually gotten lucky and gotten away with all four of them. I don't know. There's still yet to see if this thing explodes real bad whenever we knock it out, but we've also got a shield here. It's hard to see because it's sitting under that skeleton, but this was a good little mech cluster for us just in terms of what we've gotten out of it. So I think I'm actually going to grab Cinderman. Let me see my friend. I'm going to make sure he doesn't... I want him to keep the... There we go. Yeah, I want him to keep the grenades on him, but I don't want that AK, or I do want the AK as his like primary weapon. Now let's see. He needs a little bit of recreation. So tell you what, in my book, if you're a Hussar, I think destroying a mech cluster is quite a bit of good recreation. Okay, here we go. Like I said, all he needs is a little bit of shooting to get his mood up, right? Actually, technically that's not true, but we're going to pretend like it's true. So I'm having him stay back here, and obviously he's alone, so it'll take a little while, but we can speed things up. We don't have to worry as much. There's no hostile threats down here. One of our Empire allies came and took out the single turret, so I'm just going to let him keep plugging away until this thing gets down close. I'll bring you guys right back so you can see the explosion. Okay, that's about 10% or less. So I'm going to control Cinderman. I got the time turned down to basic level here, the slow speed. Like I said, I've lost pawns before from explosions, which I didn't expect. Okay, that's good. That one didn't explode forcefully. And it might be the case that those weather controllers never do. But like I said, it's better safe than sorry, right? So now I think we have literally technically destroyed the mech cluster. Yeah, we heard the little guitar chord, which indicates the finality. And if we look closer at our needs, we have a defeated mech cluster bonus just kicked in. So very nice. And we've got ourselves count them, four unstable power cells. So the rest of this stuff I'm just going to claim and deconstruct or pick up here, like the plasteel. Also, yeah, I don't want to forget the shield here. But these things, as I said, we're going to bring them into the compound, connect them to our main power supply, and I'm going to wall them in somewhere. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out exactly where I want to put them. But it's best to just, once you get them installed and hooked up to the power, just literally wall them in like I've done with my Lucy here, except you don't even need a door. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I probably won't put them centrally located right next to my stockpile, but... I don't know, maybe like over here, I could just build couple little units for them. That's probably what I'll do. Okay, well, boom, there we go. We almost missed it because I was playing around with the mech cluster, but I forgot. We did call an Imperial trader in for Shay because she is now officially high enough level in her royalty status to trade with the Empire. Unfortunately, as you just saw, we got a little notification that her trading is not the best. It's been reduced because she's got the psychic bond penalty for a distance, but we won't get into that right now. Let's just see what we can purchased from the Imperial Trader. They're kind of an interesting trader because I would say maybe they're a hybrid almost between like an exotic goods trader and a bulk goods trader in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't sell them much clothing, that's for sure. But they do occasionally have like, yeah, here we go. A couple of bionics and stuff. But, ooh, look at that charge rifle, 2 of them. Honestly, since their normal modifier on here, I'm not going to shell out 1,800 of my silver for one of those because in a little bit of research time, we could just make our own. And with Buddy's production skill, he can probably be churning out masterwork quality, or even, dare I say, legendary. And let me tell you what, a legendary, even masterwork charge rifle is a deadly weapon. Oh man, I love how little Waxana thinks it's permissible to just sit out here in our trap funnel and draw. At least there's a roof over her head, so she's not actively getting rained on out here. What's Morgan doing? Oh, she's cleaning. See, Morgan's busy working. I've actually, speaking of working, I've got Shay and Shepard out here just literally clear cutting this forest. And I figure since it's right here, they should be able to, our builders should be able to get these traps up and running ASAP. But it is going to be real nice to have this double trap funnel assembled. But I still feel like this is not enough. You know, one commenter and Discord member, in fact, pointed out, I should probably set up one end with maybe some turrets. I could do that. I could bring out this wall here. Let's just do it for visual sake. I'll probably cancel this here in a second, but I could bring out a wall like this. Then I can take some of these embrasures, hear me out, and we can put a little wall of embrasures right there, okay? So we can shoot through these. Then instead of setting up people out here, I could put in some turrets. Now, here's the only problem with that, is when enemies enter the trap funnel, and they start getting shot at and they come in range, whether it's colonists or turrets, they're going to stop and they're going to try and shoot the, return fire until these things are destroyed. So the raid itself will possibly get congested in here and stuff, and it might be a bit of a mess. Because remember, it's more beneficial to have a raid spread out, and actually come in a staggered pace so that you can pick them off, 1 or 2 at a time. If we have an entire raid of, let's say, like, pirates or whatever with guns, and they all get congested right here until the turrets are destroyed, well, that means that the raid itself is going to come through these doors in one big group. You know what I'm saying? So, although it does seem like a good idea, and I have experimented with this kind of thing in the past, trying to incorporate embrasures with trap funnels. It sounds good in theory, but in practice, it definitely has some drawbacks to it. But I think if we set it up well enough, it might not necessarily be such a hindrance. At the very best, it could probably soften up some of the troops, you know what I'm saying? And then if, for instance, I just put in the very most basic turrets over here, the the mini turrets that are kind of cheapo. And I mean, it doesn't take more than 3 or 4 hits to destroy one of these things. So, like I said, it would soften up the raid, and if they got them eliminated quickly enough, they would just continue on through the funnel and get taken out too. But I don't know. First things first, we just got to get this thing completed, get some more doors laid out and stuff. But, I'm always open to suggestions for sure about improving our defenses, because if the colony goes down, guys, the series is over. But, of course, you can always count on more RimWorld content in the future. But don't worry, this one's going to be going for a long time. Fingers crossed, right? Oh, now this is a rare sight here in our colony. Look at this. Strong and Cinderman just got into a social fight. 2 of our Hussars, the pure-blooded. Of course, Strong is essentially the mother of the colony. They better not kill each other here, because I've seen it happen. He just got his thumb destroyed. His eye's been cut out for a while. Okay, thank God. Okay, nothing permanent there. Lost the thumb. Great. Just more bionics will have to get installed. Not a big deal. Eventually, everybody will have full bionic limbs and stuff, most likely. especially our combat pawns. But man, I tell you, the social fights, that's like the second or third one only up until this very point. And it's such a change of pace from my Toxic Waster colony, which is the last series I had. Link in the description, by the way. But oh my god, that colony, there were social fights left and right. People would get killed. No joke. It was the worst. But overall, it was an extremely fun and interesting colony to play, the Toxic Waster only. But yeah, great series. Really enjoyed that one. Unfortunately, it looks like the social fights are catching. Oh, look, now the two of them are chatting about birthdays. Oh no, that's Lady V and Cinderman, who, by the way, are husband and wife too. So there's Buddy treating his friend Strong. Actually, I think Strong is his mother, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, Shay is his mother. Wow. Oh, that's right. He's the only child of Hutch. Hutch was our original Hussar, who Cinderman eventually replaced because Hutch got killed. So that was a very early episode. But nonetheless, guys, I just wanted to show you that rare occasion of a social fight. Man, oh man, well, I clear cut a whole bunch of trees out here, if you can believe it. I'm going to get those stumps too, because we still have not got enough wood, and I'm out now again. Totally. So, like I said, this is a wood-hungry colony when you take into account all these spike traps. At some point, maybe I can switch over to steel once we get like some deep drills going. You know, we basically have infinite steel, nearly so. But even then, I don't know. We'll probably still work with wood, because wood and bamboo, because bamboo I can grow inside a garden, which is helpful. I think it might actually be slightly less damage than like a wooden trap, but nonetheless, we've just got to deal with it until we get better defenses or maybe a kill box or something going. Uh-oh, well, this time it's not a social fight. It's man versus nature over here. We've got a grizzly hunting Cinderman. Let me tell you, Mr. Grizz, you've chosen the wrong pawn to hunt. This is a full-blooded Hussar you're messing with, and he's in his total mustard yellow outfit, so he is feeling on top of the world. You better not get caught up in frickin' melee, bro. Alright, there you go. Keep moving. That was my fault. I shouldn't have stopped to look at his outfit. Alright. And finish him off. Good job, Mr. Cinder. So we're out here clearing out this area. I want to expand eventually. But yeah, we're doing as much stuff outside the compound basically as we can while Randy's letting us be safe and stuff. In fact, I was just about to go through and find some good, like here, this spot, a good spot with some granite chunks, and order everybody to just beeline it out here and start hauling them in. That way, it makes our stone cutting more efficient doing it like that. You can see we've gotten to the point where we're actually cutting stone again, which is going to be so crucial for our bridge building. I mean, we really got to step this up if I want to get this accomplished anytime soon. So one thing I am going to start researching on, I'm going multi-analyzer, but this deep drilling, in fact, you know what? Let's just start this. If I can get a deep drill in here, I just want it to dig up granite, well, chunks of any kind really, but all stone chunks, so it makes things much easier. They don't have to run halfway across the map just to get stone. Oh my god, it just happened again. I have Cinnamon and Kabir Strong's into a goblin. This drove strong. Oh, what is going on? They must be, are they rivals? Daughter Strong, what the, but where's Cinderman? Cinderman's son-in-law does not like him very much, does she? Dang it. He really doesn't, he doesn't mind her. Wow, so it's all strong. That's interesting. Dang it. I wish we had Word of Love with like our pawn here, royal pawn. We don't, though. We have Word of Trust, which isn't going to help. Word of Love probably wouldn't do anything. Like, I don't know. I've never tried it to like end a, well, actually that's not true. I have used it many times, but haven't really paid attention that closely to see if it would like affect somebody's opinion like that. Non-romantically, even though it is romantic intended, but she's already married, so I was just kind of thinking maybe it would boost her overall opinion, but I don't know. Heck, as long as they don't kill each other, it doesn't really bother me that much, but it's just funny to see so many social fights. And I know it's only 2, but for this place, it's quite a lot, and they still are forced to go lay in beds right next to each other. Okay, well, this is kind of interesting. I just got a trade quest, which normally I don't do these unless it's like a really phenomenal reward, which this actually kind of is. So look at this. This would be our second death rest capacity serum. So the first time I acquired one, I was kind of mistaken about what its purpose was. I know it relates to the sanguiphage, but I thought it would initiate, like it would change somebody into one. But I don't think it does that. I think it strictly boosts the power, but still if we start stockpiling these, we can get a pretty powerful sanguiphage eventually. But anyway, we've also got a shock lance and 17 plasteel, I guess, to round it out a little bit. But look at the request is 5 advanced components, which I literally have that already. We don't have to do any kind of crafting, which in fact I can't. I don't even have that ability yet. But still, I think I might do that because I've got 18 of them. I can get rid of 5. I like to stockpile at least a little bit early on so we can kind of get ourselves running once we're ready. But that's good. All right, let's do it. This is literally going to be my very first caravan. I'm always kind of anxious about doing caravans and stuff. But I mean, well, essentially this colony was way too understaffed, so to speak, to send out caravans early on. But we might be safe to send out one person, and I'm thinking maybe Clarissa. Hold on, I made a mistake before. Okay, she is capable of medical. I'm still thinking maybe I'll send like her and, oh dear God, Sass. How old is Sass? 13. Yeah, I'll send her and Sass out there. I mean, it's good to go, double up buddy system, as they say. Plus, I've made a mistake of sending lone colonists out for various reasons. It's not been well. But anyway, so let me go ahead and set that up. It's actually kind of a long trip. I already measured it out, but we'll do it again real quick. Just because it goes through the mountains, unfortunately. So it's a 2.5-day trip just about. So round trip, 5 days. But like I said, we're gonna try this. Let's go for it. Okay, well, there they go. They're kind of split up. What the hell? They're both going weird directions, but they're going to end up in the same location. So let's speed things up here. Now, it's literally just the two of them, no animals. And of course, I did that to reduce visibility. So yeah, I should have showed it to you, but there is a visibility indicator whenever you go and do a caravan. Like, for instance, if I had sent a Thrumbo with them, then their caravan would be like over 100% visibility. Like, everybody would see them. So obviously that means they can get attacked more often. Now I think their visibility with just the two of them was like at 30%, which is pretty low. So it's the best we can do. And even if even if they do get attacked, man, we might be screwed. I don't know, because I did send a little bit of go juice with them just in case. But fingers crossed. Most of the time caravans get by pretty safely. But anyway, we'll monitor that situation. It's also important to not forget to accept the quest. Now, it doesn't expire for 5 days, so these quests are really, time-wise, they're pretty easy. They give you plenty of time to wait to accept it, so you can then, if I needed to, I could construct these advanced components. But otherwise, we could accept it, right at the last second, then send our caravan, because even once you've accepted it, it still gives you, 6 more days, to make the travel. But, yeah, I think we're good to just go ahead and accept it now. Right there, expires in 26 days. So that's way more than I said. I said 6. It's actually a full 2-month period there in game time. Oh, what's this? Ancient complex. We might start raiding some more of those. Actual raids going off map to do that kind of stuff is definitely going to be not be feasible at the moment. We've literally only got 4 adult pawns who can fight. 3 at the moment. 2 if you count the fact that Strong's going into labor any moment now. Oh, well, speaking of Strong going into labor and kids and stuff, we've got little baby Dolce here who's only got 20 more days till he gets popped out of the growth vat. Now, as I recall, yeah, Lady V and Cinderman. That's right. So this is their child. And he's actually got the best of all traits. I don't think, no, he doesn't have psychic bonding, but honestly, that's kind of good. Psychic bonding's a bit of a dual-edged sword, to be honest. I mean, just take a look at Shay and her overall status because of her distance on the psychic bond. So it's kind of good that he doesn't have that. But nonetheless, I'm expecting him to become a pretty dang good combat pawn. And I don't know, I might keep him in there. Somebody suggested let him go through their 3 growth events. They're strong in labor. And once the baby has gotten to like teenage years, put him back in the growth vats for those last like 5 years until they become adults. And then they've got like their full hit points and everything. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that with this guy if he's going to be a good combat pawn, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get Old Lady Strong. Gather for the childbirth. There we go. 89% quality expected. We can deal with that. Okay, here we go, everybody. Time for the floor baby. There he is, Baby Liu. And usually the random name generator pops up a couple days after he's born, but there we go. So we got a new candidate for the growth vats. There we go, Liu. Of course, Old Shepherd and Strong were the only ones present, so I'm just going to let Strong get his water first. All right, buddy, why don't you go ahead and put up reserved by Arslan. That's okay. We'll let things take their course naturally, but it is really nice to have Strong back up and on her feet again. In fact, as I indicated in the last episode, we've turned the pregnancy chances down significantly, both for her and for Lady V, too. Just because, I mean, now that we can do in utero fertilization or artificial, test tube babies like this, I think that's probably the best way to go. As I've stated, you stressed many times, we're so limited on combatants that even having 1 or 2 is out of the picture is really, really hard to deal with. But yeah, so this will be good. Now, of course, it's not a 0% chance. And especially with Strong having a full-blooded Highmate as a husband, Old Shepherd, man, he's a Lothario. So you never know. There still could be a chance of a natural pregnancy. Oh boy, and with the blessings of Randy, we have almost made it to our trade destination. Just remember though, we've got to get back home afterwards. But let's focus on one thing at a time. So, who's starving? Oh, Strong. Yeah, that's fine. I was just worried it was somebody in our caravan. I was going to say, I brought the food. But it should be any moment now. It'll pop up and tell me they've arrived, and we can initiate the trade real quick. Oh, but I can see the darkness coming along. They might actually have to pause and make camp right before they arrive. I don't know. We'll see. Give it a second. Okay, there we go. They have now arrived. And jump to location. Fulfill trade order, baby. Let's do it. Confirm. Yes. Now, also, another great side effect is that pretty significantly boosted our... I mean, it basically doubled our influence. Now, I shouldn't say doubled it, but brought it up a little bit. So that was good. Now we can't trade with them, unfortunately, just normally because they are hostile towards us. But I think we're gonna bring our people back. And yes, I've done this kind of quest before, so now we are carrying the rewards for that, which is tremendous. Because if we get stuck on the way back, Clarissa can use that shock lance. I'm happy to do that if it means getting the main item back. But very successful, looking good here. Okay, well, speaking of faction influence, here is what I just finished researching a little while ago. Actually, I didn't pull it up, but we're on to deep drilling now. I think after that, we'll probably switch back into our power, because I'm really going to push for this advanced nuclear power. Once we get this, man, we're on our own. We're totally good on power, but I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of going about it backwards, because to even build this, I'll probably need more advanced components than I now currently have. So I might want to just go ahead and go for fabrication first, but we'll see. I'll decide that in a moment. First things first, as I said, faction influence. We are going to get ourselves another ally here in a moment. First, I want to show you. I'm going to go for the grasshoppers, I think. I'd like to be able to call in. This is an added faction from a mod, too, by the way. Normally, you don't see pirates that are friendly or potentially friendly. And I think we can get them to neutral status at least, or like positive. Then they'll start coming in as guests, and, we can trade with them. So it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and load this thing up. Now, we are going to put in this is gifts. So I'm just basically sending them stuff here totally for free that I don't really want or need. Well, we could always trade it, but I'm going to give them some of our backpacks. It's kind of tough. You don't know exactly how much influence the items you're sending is going to garner you from that, particular faction. It's kind of just based on what you're sending, the value and stuff. And since we are pretty low, I mean, we're in the negative faction influence with them. I'm going to send them like a good chunk of stuff here. Look, we got a Thrumbo wool parka masterwork. Come to think of it, I don't think I'm going to send them that. That's a little bit much. But yeah, this actually is a really nice haul of clothing. So, boom, there we go. And the only next step is just to wait for everybody come down here and haul it. One thing I'm going to do to speed that along is put an order. Oh, shoot, no, it's not going to work. I was going to try and have a speed or, the urgent haul set, but it won't work. I think we've got a few kids who are set to haul as a priority, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, here we go. As I said, the naming of the baby usually pops up a couple days after the actual birth, which is a little weird, but it's whatever. But it is also kind of interesting, and I was just looking at this for the first time. It does give you a full breakdown of like all the different stats that went into the baby's healthy level, which is cool because I actually have had, not in this colony, but I think it was the Toxic Waster colony, we had a baby born with like an infant illness, which was very interesting. I mean, we pulled the baby through and it became healthy eventually, but yeah, it was touch and go, I guess, for a while. Arthur. Good, strong name. So far, for most of them, we've been going with the various like random names that the computer generates because I'm getting some good ones. I'm going to accept that. I do have a baby wrench here, which I've been thinking about it. Maybe we'll just assign, I don't know, the next child the name of wrench. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because to be honest, using a mech resurrector serum on a child, I'm not saying it's a waste necessarily, but I mean, I could pop out another baby in a heartbeat. With the growth vats and stuff. Now, if this was a full-grown pawn with like some serious mature skills and whatnot, that would be a different story. But you get what I'm saying. Although, nonetheless, we might just name somebody else Wrench because that was a request from a Discord member. So I'm happy to honor those. And if anybody out there in TV land would like a pawn named after them, just shout it out. Now, sometimes I do record episodes back to back or several at a time, so you might not see the name pop up right away. But I promise, if you throw the request out there and you don't mind too much about gender, I'll give you a pawn. Oh man, I was just sitting here debating on this growth vat. I think the baby's 3 days and 13. I can go ahead and inject this, right? I don't know. I didn't get the pop-up. Maybe something else came up, but we did just get a different pop-up here. We've got a siege, unfortunately. Oh, look at the raid points. That's little. That shouldn't be too tough at all. Okay, it's a drop pod just across the river. Let's just let them land, see how things turn out. Oh, boy, actually quite a few of them. Bunch of wasters. No, I'm wrong. Oh, my God, there's a bunch of Hussars in here. There's random. There are some wasters here, but it's all just random. Not a single Highmate in the group. I can assure you that much, though. But, okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. So the caravan is not at risk of, like, stumbling into the siege at all. They're not going to be back in time. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is copy over this. And then I'm going to set everybody to the safe zone. Bring them all into the safe zone. Now, the question is, how do we want to deal with this here? I certainly don't want to just let them start slugging us with mortar shells. So we've got a couple of options. I still do have 2 animal pulsers here. We could lock down the compound and let the hares go at them. Oh, what the? Oh, crap, I forgot. Yeah, so we've had some trouble with our animal handling, and 2 of our thrumbos have gone wild, baby, believe it or not. No, they're both children, though. Dude, I'm tempted to just... That will be a problem. If I set that pulsar off, that means these thrumbo would go crazy inside the barn. And that's a disaster waiting to happen. So, wow. Maybe that's not the way to deal with it, is it? Now, also keep in mind, we've got 1 anti-grain warhead left, not to mention a nice stockpile of the others. And in addition, we've also got Shay, who, albeit non-violent, still has the ability to drop a few what's it called, an air drone strike and a Janissary squad, which could be just enough to trigger this baby. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, several options to go. I'm not too threatened by this siege. Thank God it's not another mech cluster. That would have been like 6 in a row. But I think we have drawn out this episode long enough. So we're going to deal with the siege in tomorrow's episode, right at the very start. You can count on that, guys. So I hope you're prepared for that. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the content so far. Thank you guys very much for the comments you leave. It always brightens my day when I get to read them and stuff. And also, big shout out to the Patreon subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. It really helps make my dream of one day becoming a full-time YouTuber come true. So big shout out to you guys, and I will see you all on the next one.